I am reconnecting with one of my favorite entrepreneurs around the world in Australia, Forbes 30 under 30 winner, Mladen Jovanovic. We connected originally sometime a year or two ago, right when this podcast was kicking off. He is not only one of the hardest workers that I know, but he's constantly looking for innovation to catch everybody up who missed his first show. He is the co-founder of Bindi Maps, where they make places accessible and easy to navigate. They are currently the largest provider of accessible indoor navigation technology in Australia, and they have created an app that works just like Google Maps, but for indoor spaces. If you've been to the mall and you've seen those big touchscreens with where the mall stores are, that's how Bindi Map works, and they essentially put one of those kiosks in your pocket and have made it accessible so people of all abilities can use it. I can't wait to hear what's new since his last episode, some tools he recommends for success to entrepreneurs, and some lessons he learned during COVID. But without further wait, Mladen, thank you for coming back on the show.
Oh, dude, the energy every single time I come on. I couldn't imagine anyone better to speak to. What an introduction. What an introduction. Thank you.
Of course, everyone tuning in, welcome back to That Entrepreneur Show. My name is Vincent A. Lancy, and as I mentioned, we have an all-star entrepreneur on the show today. He's accomplished so much. He gives back. He's already accomplished more since the last show. He's always on the LinkedIn feed doing something great, so I'm excited to bring him back for you, add value to you, the listeners. If it is your first time joining us, this is where I sit down with founders of companies or brands from all around the world each week. Since December 2019, we're just at 3 years now of weekly shows, and we're not done just yet. But let's bring Mladen back on. For everyone who does not know Bindi Maps, tune him in.
This segment is sponsored by Bedrock Business Builders, a small business startup specialist. Start, build, manage.
Oh, dude, what a journey we've had. So we started the company in 2017 to solve a very specific problem. And that problem was to help people who are blind or vision impaired to navigate unfamiliar indoor spaces. Now, we started the company because our CEO was diagnosed with an eye disorder where the doctor said, you're going to go blind. It's a matter of time. So you should start preparing. So then the team we all put our heads together to figure out how do we solve this problem. And we came up with an amazing tech solution that would essentially talk someone who's blind through their journey every step of the way. So if they're walking through a shopping mall, a university, we would just fill in those gaps as they're walking. You know, you're passing the lecture hall on your right and so on. And then over time, we've evolved to include accessible routes for people in wheelchairs, visual maps for sighted people. So it gives you the full Google Maps experience, except we do the hyper local navigation component. So we don't do outdoors by vehicles. We focus on mainly indoor spaces with highly accurate localization, and we're very bespoke in the way that we communicate information to people.
Continuing to crush it, solving a big need. That's a free lesson learned from Mladen right there. Go out there and look to fill a need. Mine's quite different. I'm filling the need of mental health. He's on the opposite end of the globe doing something very different, but thriving in his field. I'd love to now touch on some new updates in Bindi Maps, some things that have gone on since me and you last sat down.
Things have changed. So we've had we're in the process of scaling the company now, right? Like back when we spoke, it was sort of still trying to find that product market fit, get those, first 10, 20, 30 customers in Australia. But more recently, we just signed a contract with the European Union.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we just got our first location in Europe, which was Budapest International Airport. We took a bit of a trip to the US, me and our CEO. We flew in October to try and get some contracts out in the US and test the waters on expansion over there. So now we're looking at, what's our investment strategy? Where are we raising capital from? Where are we going to start targeting people in the US and really try to aggressively expand across the globe? And then very recently, as of, I think, last week or the week before, we were awarded winners of the UN's World Summit Awards. So we're going to be heading out to Mexico in March to pitch in front of the UN folks, and hopefully going to the South by Southwest conference after in Texas.
That's incredible. Congratulations. I'm typing that up so I make sure I put that in the show notes. Everyone out there, Mladen is a great resource to have. Be sure to stick around to the end of the episode, find out how to contact him, find out more about Bindi Maps. But are we working on anything else right now? Because I know you are very ambitious as well. Are we doing other companies? Or are we focusing on Bindi Maps?
Oh, look, dude, I did start that other company last time we spoke, which was actually announced it on your podcast last time we spoke. It's called Teaching Startups to Fish. And unfortunately, I haven't been focusing as much as I'd like to on that. I got a little bit frustrated because I put out all of this content and I made this, video series. And what frustrated me was after I did that, I learned so much over the next 6 months. And I look back on the work that I put in, I'm like, oh man, everything needs to be updated, right? So it's sort of like that constant game of, how do you stay up to date with everything? How do you push out the most relevant content? How do you deliver the most value? And I haven't been putting in 110% into that, which I'm hoping to kickstart again in the next year. So for now, it's just been, it's been crazy on the Bindi Maps front. So I've just been focusing on that.
It's so great to see your success, everything from behind the scenes. Everyone, if you missed that first show, be sure to scroll down in the episode description. Give his episode a listen. He offered a lot of golden nuggets all throughout. I now want to jump into something that I know can help everyone, Mladen. You're on the opposite side of the globe during COVID, a lot different than here in America. I'm in Florida, very different than other states here in America. Let's share about how your work was affected. What happened in the beginning and the end over in Australia?
On the professional front, everyone sort of started bunkering down when COVID came around, right? I remember people were trying to make decisions on whether they lay off employees or how do they deal with the situation. And everyone sort of, stopped issuing invoices. People weren't going out. People were canceling, subscriptions and all sorts of things. For us at Bindi Maps, we decided to use that opportunity to build our product out as much as possible. So instead of actually laying people off or, doing a hiring freeze or anything like that, I think we had 3 new hires throughout COVID. Amazing. And we really improved the product. But I think, more importantly, on a company's performance, in my opinion, is a direct reflection of how their employees are feeling and how their employees are dealing with certain situations, right? Because if you've got a pool of 10 or 20 employees and every single one of them suffering, you're not going to get any output in your company. So, flipping that on a personal level, I was extremely lucky. I don't have children. I've got an amazing job. We were in a stable position to ride the wave. I've got an amazing support network. So I'm probably one of the very few people that, or not very few, but one of the few people that actually came through COVID relatively unscathed. But I do know quite a few people that really weren't as fortunate. They, homeschooling was a big thing, and dealing with those stresses and so many other things really impacted a lot of people. So, perfect time. If anyone needs to talk about anything, look, reach out. I'm here to listen. I'm here to talk. I'm not sure how much I can help, but if I can at all, please let me know.
He's a great guy. And similar to you, I used COVID as this opportunity to really jumpstart my company, get all this extra work behind the scenes. Everybody's home, so everybody has time to record podcasts. I'm able to record, I think at one point, I had like 4 months of inventory. And then a lesson learned from that was, although it was hard work put in, some things get irrelevant over 4 months. As you mentioned, you started that second company, things changed. So everyone out there, do keep some inventory, but maybe not 4 months. But that was just, I called them my podcast benders at the time. I wanted to free up time for other things like writing my books and so forth. We can't let Mladen go yet, though. I want to ask you to help our audience one more time. Which tool, book, app, any workshops, something that helps you succeed or has helped you really thrive in your entrepreneurial journey? What can you recommend for our audience today?
There's a bunch on the sales side because I mainly deal with commercial. There's so much on the sales side, like The Qualified Sales Leader by John McMahon. It's probably one of my favorite books, but I think I'm going to go back to basics. And my strong recommendation going forward would be How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Especially with especially with the rise of AI. There it is.
Yeah, I got it right on the desk too.
Look, with the rise of AI, I think that being able to talk to and understand people are going to be the more important skills in the future, especially since a lot of the tasks are being automated and taken care of now. So, you cannot get enough of learning about how to interact with people. So that would be my biggest recommendation.
There's nothing that replaces that human to human interaction. Even with us, it's that face to face. We're here on Zoom, Tampa to Australia, making it happen. It's times are changing. AI is scary in some ways because of how powerful it can be. But for now, I'm still enjoying my normalcy of somewhat non-AI. Mladen, as you know from your first show, we do a spotlight story where we go over the journey of another entrepreneur or a topic related to entrepreneurship. But since you're already a veteran on my shows, we're going to ask you to give someone else a shout out on this show, another entrepreneur who's always grinding, deserves some recognition. Who are you going to show some love to?
Dude, these people are working like crazy. Phoebe Gardner and Alex Arnold. They founded a company called Bardi. And what they do is they work with, they're essentially reshaping the entire global food system. So they're transforming food waste into protein and fertilizer with insects. And
Wow.
I remember we went through the same accelerator program a while back when we started, and they've just completely blown up. And I just see so much activity on LinkedIn and the awesome things they're doing. So
Amazing.
the company is spelled BARDEE. Check them out, man. They're awesome.
Yeah, they sound like a great fit for this show. I think they can add a lot of value to this audience. Might have to tag them in the show. But Mladen, I want to thank you one more time for coming on the show. Starting your day, right? Over there?
Starting my day.
Starting
8:41.
Yeah, 4:41 here p.m. One of my rare afternoon appointments. Mladen always gets that VIP. Please share Bindi Map's contact info, your contact info, any and all things Mladen.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. If you want to find me, best places on LinkedIn, Mladen Jovanovic. There's not too many of us, but as soon as you search Bindi Maps, you'll be able to find me there. And follow us on socials. I mean, Bindi Maps is doing some amazing things as well. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So just find us at Bindi Maps, and yeah, hope you come along for the journey.
Be sure to go check out Bindi Maps. They're really changing the game, innovating every month, it seems. And Mladen has a great post put up. And I am at Vincent A. Lancy on all social media, YouTube. Be sure to head to YouTube for a preview of this episode and other great shows like Writing with Authors. I am at Vincent A. Lancy on all social as well. We are hashtag That Entrepreneur Show and at That Entrepreneur Show. And until next time, Mladen, great to catch up with you. And thanks again for stopping by.
My man. Thank you, brother. Peace.